Open Your Eyes is brought to you by the Belize Bank, our country, your bank, and Smart, bringing people together.
Good morning and welcome to Open Your Eyes, Start Your Morning Right. I am William Neal. Marlene should be with us in a few. It's a beautiful Monday morning, the start of the work week, the first Monday in August. There are a lot of reasons to get up and give thanks and have a great day today. And we intend to try and make it as great a day as possible by our programming for today. But of course, we have our regular housekeeping that we'll embark on, and that includes our general weather forecast. So we're going to be talking to Mr. Frank Tench Jr. to make sure that in your neck of the woods, we know the weather and you can prepare accordingly. Good morning, Mr. Tench.
Hi, good morning, William.
How are you today?
I'm fine, thank you.
It's a beautiful Monday morning. We've had some little rains and it's still a little bit warm. What does that speak of for our weather for today?
Okay, I'll give you the forecast.
Okay.
We expect skies will be cloudy with sunny periods today and partly cloudy skies tonight. A few showers and isolated thunderstorms will occur mainly in the south this morning, then decreasing later today, which translates into improving the weather.
Now, what will our winds be like? Because last night we had some beautiful winds.
Okay, winds out of the east at 10 to 20 knots with occasional higher gusts, near showers or thunderstorms. And that's going to produce choppy to moderate seas, becoming locally rough at times. And we're still maintaining the small craft caution for coastal waters.
And what will our highs and lows be like for today?
The highs today for coastal areas, 88 degrees Fahrenheit, 93 inland and 78 in the hills. Lows tonight for coastal areas, 78 degrees, 73 inland and 69 in the hills.
And our extended forecast as we move into the work week?
Okay, the outlook through to Wednesday morning is for partly cloudy skies with isolated showers or thunderstorms.
And of course, we're still in our hurricane season. So is there anything that we should be monitoring at this time?
At this time, the Atlantic basin is quiet, and there are no features likely for tropical cyclone formation during the next 48 hours.
All right.
That's good news.
Very good news. Well, thank you very much, Mr. Tench.
You're most welcome.
Enjoy your Monday.
Right.
Good morning.
Good morning. You know, I keep on thinking that, well, we haven't reached the peak of our season as yet, but we have been really lucky so far to have such a calm hurricane season. And it's throughout the Caribbean, throughout the region as well. So it doesn't mean that we can't be prepared anymore. It means that we still have to be very vigilant, but at the same time, thankful.
Yeah, count your blessings as you move along.
Precisely.
All right, well, let's jump into our second order of housekeeping, which means our eye-opener for today, Monday, the 5th of August, 2013. And it goes like this. Go behind the apparent circumstances of the situation and locate the love in yourself and in all others involved in the situation. The moment we have a negative experience, we get stuck in what was done and how it was done to us. We must learn not to take life so personally. People are not really out to get us. Events are not waiting to befall us. We are all moving to get where we want to be. As a result, we will sometimes step on each other's toes. When we find ourselves in a conflict or confrontation, we must know how to love ourselves out of it. Love means recognizing fear as an operant condition that sometimes makes us do and say things we really don't mean. Love means opening our hearts and minds to our best, regardless of what is going on. Love means not attacking, but supporting, not defending, but seeking clarity. Love means knowing that in the end, we will all be okay, even if it means we have to give up a little of something. Let us learn to give up anger and fear by replacing those things with love. I am loving you and me out of this situation. The power of love.
Okay.
I like that. You know, it is true. You know, very often we get stuck in a particular situation, and it's because so much has probably happened and so much negative has probably happened that you start mistrusting people, situations, expecting the worst almost as you maneuver life. And very often you do it almost subconsciously. It's almost like you go into protect self mode, that you do it and you don't realize that you're doing yourself an injustice by shutting people out and limiting the situations that by trying to control them as you try to maneuver life. And I think it's all about getting that mindset that, you know, as you go through life, you might be surprised, and you will be constantly surprised if you allow yourself to at least embrace the situation.
Yeah, I think it's very important for us to look at how we approach these type of situations. And obviously the emphasis in the eye opener is talking about loving your way through it, whether it's loving yourself out of it or loving yourself and whoever else is involved out of it. You know, so often things of the past or things that we've experienced before tend to shape us or tend to make us more inclined to reacting in a certain way, whether it's self-preservation mode that you don't want a repeat, or sometimes it's just less tolerance, which in some cases is okay, where at the sight of some kind of friction, it's like, okay, I'm done, and you walk away without giving it a chance. How you go about being able to use love as your way through that, I guess it's just a matter of perspective. Trying to ensure that you have really done all that you can and done the best that you can as well.
And I like the idea that, you know, love is such a powerful thing that it doesn't necessarily mean that it has any kind of sexual connotation or any other kind of thing. It just means that you're in a position where you want for others what you would want for yourself, and you operate along those lines. And sometimes it's hard because we often see ourselves when we're in the protect self mode first,
as the victim.
As the victim, and we do things as a result, not recognizing that very often, you know, the other person might be experiencing some things as well. And I like the fact that it talks about seeking clarity. You know, if you're not sure why somebody is doing something, just ask them. Sometimes you'd be pleasantly surprised as to why they're doing it, or if they even are aware that they are doing it. So you have to make sure that when in doubt, you seek out the correct, you know, you ask the right questions. You make sure that you communicate with people to get to the point where you have clarity. If someone doesn't understand why, or you don't appreciate why someone is doing something, then your reaction to the situation at least comes from a point of being informed, and then you can move on.
Yeah, great advice.
All right. Well, that's our eye-opener for today, and we're getting ready to move into our show.
We just have one reminder, of course. Tomorrow is Be the Next Superstar, and we do have to tell everybody that tickets go on sale from today. And unfortunately, yesterday they sold out in one day. So if you want to get a seat at the Bliss, then be sure to pick up your ticket today here at Channel 5, or you can also get it at the Bliss. They're only $2 each. This week, Tuesday, is the day that both Group A and Group B merge, which means we have double knockout rounds, and now it's time for them to really be able to bring out the best that they have. So we're looking forward to that. So be sure to join us, and if you want to join us, you make sure you pick up your ticket today.
All right. Jumping into our show for today, of course, a part of the conversation in the public domain has been the proposal by the opposition party to look at the Public Accounts Committee and the way it is put together, the composition in terms of membership and where they come from. And we'll be talking with Honorable Julius Spat and former Clerk of the National Assembly, Conrad Lewis, to look at the standing orders as they relate to this particular committee, and whether there's room for this kind of a discussion, and as we try and push forward to see if this revising of the committee is at least acceptable within the confines of the House. But we're going to go ahead, we'll have our entire conversation on that, but we're going to go ahead right now and take a first break, and when we come back, we'll be joined by our guests to talk about the Public Accounts Committee going forward. Don't go anywhere. Open your eyes. We'll be right back after these messages.
Hi, I'm Tanya Carter, and most people think that I'm a diva. But the truth is, ouch! The truth is, I'm just like any other girl. I want my ringtones now, and I don't want to wait. And with Smart Zoom internet service, I can get the hottest ringtones in no time. My ex-boyfriend. Wait, that's not my color. Smart. Express yourself.
Smart, bringing people together.
Thinking of all those school expenses for the kids? With a Flexi loan from the Belize Bank, you can get financing for all your educational expenses, school fees, tuition, books, supplies, uniforms, whatever you need to prepare your kids for school. Applying is easy and affordable, and we can tailor your Flexi loan to suit your budget. Me don't know about you, but for me picnic, when back to school with Belize Bank. Visit us today and ask about our Flexi Loans Back to School special. The Belize Bank, our country, your bank.
Come and enjoy the food and drinks at Traveler's Barrel Bar, located 2.5 miles on the Northern Highway. Sample our new menu of authentic Mexican tacos, pollo brujo, and quesadillas, and of course, the variety of rums, mixed drinks, and beer that we are known for. Our friendly, courteous staff is waiting to serve you. We have karaoke on Thursdays with Cindy, and local bands on Fridays for your entertainment. Our facility is also available to rent for special occasions. During hours of operation, your comfort and peace of mind is assured by our fine security guards. So come have loads of fun at Traveler's Barrel Bar and the Mexican Taco Factory.
Connect, explore, and engage with the latest in digital products from the world's best brands, only at Quartz. And for a limited time only, purchase any digital product at Quartz and get a chance to win a magical Disney vacation. Plus, get a free LG Touch mobile phone with the purchase of selected LG products. Or you can win one of 3 Acer tablets with select purchases. Shop today and pay only $1 down. Connect, explore, and engage now, only at Quartz, bringing value home.
And welcome back. It's now 15 minutes away from 7 o'clock, and as promised before the break, we're sitting down to talk about the Public Accounts Committee and the proposal by the People's United Party. And joining us for this conversation, we have Honorable Julius Espat and Conrad Lewis, former clerk of the National Assembly. Good morning and welcome to the show.
Morning.
Now, let's put this in context first and foremost. Let's talk about the actual process and where this proposal came from within the People's United Party and why they saw it fit to actually make this proposal public.
Well, I was elected chairman of the Public Accounts Committee after the general election in 2012. And as a rookie in Parliament, you get excited because you feel that you can contribute something positive to society. And lo and behold, you get into a system that is not working, and it hasn't worked from 1981. It is a committee that has the responsibility to analyze, examine, and report on the budget. It is a committee that is there to work hand in hand with the Auditor General so that you can look at inefficiencies in government and basically to find out if the money that is being budgeted reaches its final destination. It hasn't worked because the system is set up that government has control. Any government, any party in power has control of the committee. And yet, the role of this committee is oversight. So can you imagine that you're hiring yourself to check yourself? And that is where the fundamental flaw occurs. We have tried to work within that system, but party politics in Belize is too partisan, and it doesn't allow you to even sit around a table and have a decent conversation. That is the reality, and we need to get away from that. I think Belize, like other Commonwealth countries, we need to be more mature as to how we can work together as a team. With that said, I was invited by the American government to go and study their system. We were there for maybe 3 weeks to a month. And their committee is called the Oversight Committee. And they are very strict in how you divide oversight when it pertains. So in the American system, the opposition, in this case the Republicans, chair and have majority in the Oversight Committee. That is the only way they see that you can properly have oversight over how something is done. Then I eventually went and I studied the systems in the Commonwealth. Australia, for example, has what they call a bicameral Public Accounts Committee. And what they do is they join their Senate and their House together to form this committee. The United Kingdom, they don't have a bicameral committee. They have a difference. So every country has their own way. Trinidad, for example, is full opposition members. India, bicameral. So we went and we studied all the different Commonwealths. One thing came out is that each country needs to decide and find out how their society is functioning. You need to analyze the size of your country, the population, and how cabinet works. Remember, we inherited a system. It is a system that works well in the UK, but you have, how many parliamentarians you have in the UK?
About 600.
About 600 parliamentarians. So even if you have a party in power, you still have serious backbenchers. So I started to analyze locally. I sat with Conrad, who is somebody that I respect dearly when it pertains to the House, and other legislative attorneys. And we looked at, we have already started reform in Belize. Belize is one of the few countries where the Senate has representation from the churches, the unions, and the business community. And the People's United Party had even gone to this level of having an elected Senate. It has not been implemented, but referendum was done. People agreed that's what they wanted. So we are proposing that we take the power away from politicians when it pertains to oversight. Take it away from UDP, take it away from PUP, and give power to the people. Because politics has changed, the world has changed. Whereas before, politicians could hide and do decisions without people becoming aware of it, where they hear it all over the place.
Now, just to interject for a moment, because as you go through the rationale as to why this is important now, a part of the argument is, of course, under the previous the People's United Party, we did not, for example, see an Auditor General's report being filed for so long and stuff. So why make the switch now? And what's the argument? Is it simply when the shoe is on the other foot now, it is more convenient because there's no political mileage that can be gained?
That is a political mindset that you're setting in place, which is, I have no interest as to what happened in the past in PUP and UDP. I am an elected representative and I'm looking at present and future. We're looking at fixing the system. UDP say that PUP did wrong. PUP say that UDP did wrong. Both of them might be right. But that's not our interest. The people of Belize are saying we want change. And we can't be speaking about change. We have to be serious about change. If I would be thinking like the past, I would not even get involved in having the Public Accounts Committee been taken out of political power. Because then when you reach government, you have ultimate power and you don't care about it anymore. Yeah. So it is a true message that we are sending. We want true reform and we want it now so that when we reach government, we are put under check and balance. And that is something that has to be done for this economy to move forward. If we don't do it, we will destroy our nation and the future of your child, and mine is at stake. So it's not political games we are playing. The Prime Minister has to answer the question. Is he happy with how the Public Accounts Committee has functioned from 1981 to now? If he can come on camera and tell the Belizean people that he is happy that it has functioned properly, then I will understand. But he cannot do that.
I want us to elaborate on that point a bit more, and that's where I'll ask Mr. Lewis to step in for a bit. Obviously, what we're hearing is that the Public Accounts Committee has been set up with a purpose. Its purpose hasn't been served. Now, is this a matter where what is written on paper is not being executed? In other words, the theory doesn't match the practical. Is there any way, as it is set up now, that the Public Accounts Committee can work?
First of all, during the last administration, several Auditor General's reports were tabled. It was also then that the composition of the Public Accounts Committee was changed to allow the chairmanship of the committee to be held by an opposition member. Also, the Public Accounts Committee's meeting can be held on the requisition of the chairman. If the chairman fails to call a Public Accounts Committee, 2 members can request a meeting of the committee. But the problem with the committee is a very divisive partisan wrangling. In my view, the current composition and the way the meetings are called are matters that were very, very serious to get it to work. But the committee is a casualty of what Honorable Espat mentioned earlier. Now, as a result of that, since the committee is moribund because of serious partisan divide, the motion that the Honorable is attempting to present to the House will seriously make the Public Accounts Committee a genuine committee of oversight. However, you begin to hear all sorts of things in relation to the proposal. The proposal is to ask the House of Representatives to agree to amend the standing orders to create a joint Public Accounts Committee where the House and the Senate could collaborate to provide oversight in relation to the Auditor General's report and public accounts. The issue now is that there are lots of procedural flaws and the like. But I want to explain that in relation to procedure, Standing Order 25 as opposed to Standing Order 89, that's the issue right now. Standing Order 89 is stating that once you want to amend the standing orders, you have to provide 8 days notice, and you are also to attach the proposed amendment to your motion. But what this motion is trying to do is just to get the House to agree to amend the standing orders to provide for a joint committee for public accounts.
There is one thing. I think before the House proposes to amend the standing order, the first thing is that it is a motion to allow the House to have a bicameral joint committee. So that the first thing is to ask for a joint public accounts committee, because out of respect, you cannot amend the standing orders if the Senate does not vote on it also. So the House will have to pass the motion first that they agree that we want to have a joint public accounts committee. Then they send a message to the Senate. The Senate has to go through the same process and agree on the same. Once that is done, then it comes back to the House, and there is where you request to change the standing order, so you have the new committee in place. So it's technicality, but what I'd like to explain on the technicalities. Belizeans are aware of how technicalities keep us back. For example, how many murderers have gotten away when everybody knows, the police knows, the prosecutor knows, the defense knows, the judge knows, everybody knows that he is a murderer. But because of certain specific technicalities, they walk to kill again. When you go to the lands department, a poor lady gets up 5 o'clock in the morning, gets the bus, gets to the lands department to find out that something she doesn't have, goes back 40 times, and still there is a procedural error that takes that ability for her to achieve and get a piece of land. I'm giving you 2 clear examples that Belizeans face every day. If the Prime Minister, who is the boss, as he correctly says, wants this done, it can be done with one signature that he does with a swirl at the end. Easily. He has done it in the past when he wanted initially for us to have the 13th senator, and then he decided that he didn't want it anymore. He has done it in the past when he has nationalized BEL, BTL, and recently Imabri and all those companies. He has gone and changed the constitution that we have. Remember the 9th Amendment going to 8. He has the power to do good for Belize. We are hoping that he is mature enough, that he is a mature Prime Minister that wants good for this country, to look and join us. We are not pushing this down his throat. We are assisting him to accomplish his initial mandate. Go back to your files, 2008, he came on a mandate of accountability and transparency. This is one of the first opportunities he has to do it right, and we want to work with him. We want to join him to make sure that it happens. So, if there is a technical problem in his point of view, Prime Minister, send over your legal guys that you control and ask them to do it the way you would like it to be done, so that we can get it passed.
Now, a part of the response from the Prime Minister has been that within the way our system is set up, a motion will be carried by those who are the majority, basically. Well,
it's the norm, but the parliamentary system gives you an opportunity and what you call a private member motion. I'll have Conrad explain to you what a private member motion is and who is a private member.
But before we go there, has it ever been done in Belize's legislative history that a motion has been carried by the opposition while, well, obviously in the opposition seat, to make a major change in terms of the way we're governed? To your knowledge?
Yes, I can recall when Honorable Boots Martinez was attempting to